He also brought up this Elliot Rogers character, the Santa Barbara shooting. Another hoax by the numbers. Elliot Rogers was supposedly born July 20th, 1991. That is the 22-year anniversary of the moon landing hoax, also by the same numbers. He was born on a date with 137 numerology. What else? The 33rd prime, the number that corresponds with Washington, D.C. His father has continuously been going out speaking, validating all the shooting hoaxes since. Yesterday, his father was in the room with Obama. Born on a date with 47 numerology. Remember, the number that connects to so many important things. Very Masonic, Zionist number. Also born on a date with 118 numerology, the number for death in Jewish gematria. The name Elliot Rogers equals 68. Just talked about that. Interesting coding in his name, number corresponding with Freemasonry. His initials ER break down to 5 and 9, the kill number in Jewish gematria. They call it the Santa Barbara shooting. Happened in Isla Vista. Gematria of 49 like Washington. Also in simple English gematria, summing to 112, the alternate dialing code for 911. The date of the shooting, numerology of 17, one of the kill numbers, also 42, number we've talked a lot about. Happened on the 143rd day of the year. In leap years, it's the 144th day. If you write out 143, what's interesting is it sums to 113, that number of mainstream, dishonest, Scottish. They said he was a 22-year-old who stabbed 3 men that he knew. 223, another number that codes for Masonic. The 3 men he killed were all Asian: Chen Hong, George Chen, Wei Han Wang, supposedly. Their ages sum to 59, just like his initials, the kill number in Jewish gematria. Notice that Chen Hong equals 47, George Chen equals 60, and Wang Heng Wang sums to 51. Conspiracy equals 51 and 60 with the S exception. Wei Han is also a name with 33 gematria. Lots of familiar numbers here, Truth Seeker. The road that these 3 men were killed on was Seville Road, which also has gematria 59, like their ages, like his initials. He supposedly released a YouTube video called Elliot Rogers Retribution, which has gematria of 130 like Washington and 139 with the S exception, like Freemasonry the Big Way. All of this is federal propaganda, Washington. Should do a video on George Washington and the significance of 130. Blow your mind some more. In all, or I shouldn't say in all, but in many of these shooting hoaxes, the shooter released a manifesto, always a sign of the lies. Manifesto has the gematria of 39. The Big Way, 102, like United States of America. Remember the 9/11 attacks lasted 102 minutes, blamed on Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda equals 102. I don't think Al-Qaeda released a manifesto. Anyhow, My Twisted World, what his manifesto was called, had gematria of 66, and it should say 75. That's a typo. But anyway, it was 66 and 39. That's interesting because Revelation, which is used as a playbook by the Masons, is the 66th book of the Bible, and it's based on the 39 books of the Old Testament. I don't think it's any coincidence that it worked out that way. Also, this was in Isla Vista, having the gematria of 49, like Revelation. Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible. All of the other people he killed, supposedly, random pedestrians, women in a sorority, nobody's named. Just those 3 Asian boys. The sorority he supposedly attacked, though, was Alpha Phi. Alpha, gematria of 38, like death. And then also, of course, the 33 coding. And again, if you write out 71 as a word, it sums to 144. Another number connected to killing. The word killings, which this is named, the Isla Vista killings, has gematria of 93, just like propaganda. The coordinates of this attack were the 34th meridian, the 34th parallel, The word murder equals 34. The 119th meridian, 119. The number of all-seeing eyes, Star of David. It's the Zionists and Masons who control our media and government. The next one he named was Dylan Stormroof, the Charleston church shooting hoax. Think about Charleston Church, CC 33. Charleston, where the Civil War began. Charleston equals 43. Civil War equals 43. The senator who died, Pinckney. Pinckney equals 43. If you look up the name Pinckney, they were the original governorship of South Carolina. They were slaveholders. A lot of 43. Abraham Lincoln, the president during the Civil War, born on the 43rd day of the year. No coincidence. They said the shooter, Dylan Stormroof, was born April 3rd, 4/3, the 93rd day of the year. I still remember the day CNN came out with the news that he got a 33 count indictment. 33 count, of course, and they updated it at 3:22 p.m., which was hilarious because the shooting happened at 110 Calhoun Street. Calhoun in Jewish Gematria 322. Remember, Masonic is 223, the reflection. Calhoun also 74, just like Masonic equals 74. Out of the 50 states, only one state has a gematria of 74. It's the 33rd state, Oregon. And that becomes all the more interesting when you realize Jesus and cross equals 74. Jesus crucified at 33. Anyhow, after the Sandy Hook shooting, the first shooting in Oregon, they said was the 74th since Sandy Hook. Oregon, the only state that equals 74. As for 33, it's often also coded into the racial stories. Race war equals 33. This shooting in Charleston came 74 days after the shooting of Walter Scott by the police officer Michael Slager, also in Charleston. That story all coded with 33, 74, 113. The officer's name equaled 113. Anyhow, the ridiculous name Dylan Stormroof with the double N spelling equals 74. Just like Calhoun, the street where it happened. He was arrested on Interstate 74. He shot up Bible study class, which equals 74. The woman who spotted him on Interstate 74, her name was Debbie Dills. Debbie Dills equals 47, the reflection of 74. There's even more coded into it than that. I did about 10 videos on the Charleston shooting. If you missed them, please check them out. I give my angriest rant that I've ever given in one of them. It's just too much frustration. His trial is supposed to start this year, Truth Seeker, July 11th, 2016. A date with 34 and 54 numerology, like the words love and hate. Dylan Stormroof. Notice they got him here in a shirt with 88 on it. 88, the number of poison in program, one of these multiples of 11. In numerology, the multiples of 11, the most important numbers. Notice his shirt says Cleveland, Cleveland, one of the few cities in the nation with a 33 gematria. We had the shooting of Tamir Rice there, Tamir Rice, with all this Masonic coding, these same numbers. The last shooting that Obama brought up was the San Bernardino shooting, and in case you missed my work on that, I was the first person to put out a video in the world showing that it was a hoax. I was able to do that because even with the limited reporting at the beginning, I knew their number code. Look at this. San Bernardino was established in history on August 10th, the 222nd day of the year. San Bernardino, California equals 222, and the small weight equals 114. The shooting came 114 days after the city's birthday. And the streets it was reported on were streets that were all coded out with numbers that signify police-related hoax. Orange Show Road, they said, is where it happened at. The word police equals 147. And what goes on in most of these shooting hoaxes are police drills that are reported as real shootings. The police officers in our government are the real tyrants, the people who need to be arrested and held accountable. You're listening to the voice of someone who's been exposing the police and the government's wrongdoing for more than 2 years. For my work, my house has been robbed by my local police department, and I've been set up and arrested since. Someone who'd never been arrested before. I was arrested in my own front yard for being provoked by the person who helped rob my house. These are the real criminals. These are the real tyrants. I continue to speak out because all I'm about at this moment in my life is getting justice for all this wrongdoing, you know? This propaganda needs to stop. People need to wake up to the lies and see what kind of nation they really live in, you know? Back when Obama was running for president, I was telling everybody what a liar, what a thief, what a fraud he was. People wouldn't listen. They were so hoodwinked by the media propaganda and the way he spoke, you know? I'm tired of living in a nation of sheep who fall for lies and propaganda and stuff that's very easy to see through if you just think. It's like we live in a nation where people have forgotten how to think. All they can do is follow and believe what they're told. It's pathetic. Anyhow, I've done a lot more work on the San Bernardino shooting since. I have very long videos. Just know, all of these things coded by the same numbers every single time. You can see them on the screen. We've talked about them all. San Bernardino, they said it was 3 athletic white men that they were looking for. Then by the end of the day, it was a Middle Eastern married couple. Pathetic. Learn this code, gematria, numerology, and please help me with this research. Please help spread this message. And please keep your kids out of the military, you know? It's another thing that people do. Send their kids off to the war machine. All that rhetoric about the military's here to protect us and protect our rights, that's bullshit. All this military's for is to oppress others and oppress us, you know? If people like myself gathered and went out and caused a real movement, it would be the military that came to stop us. We have to stop supporting the oppressors with our behavior and actions. You know, we do that in a number of ways. By going out and consuming the products they sell us, the poisonous food, their movies. It's time to tune out. Minimize our consumption. Break their system. Because they're leading us to full-on slavery. You know, we really are born slaves in this nation. With each passing day, we become more enslaved. And that's the way it's going to be until the system's broken. Either that or we're eliminated. All right, truth seeker. Until next time.